Gonna mulligan this. But there, I've seen many lists without like meeting those qualifications also call themselves Mavrick. I think we keep this and put back the second library. Experiencing some lag too. Why was that a mulligan? We had no green mana. We couldn't play any spell in our hand. I did start as a Selesnya mage, yeah. Why play Essence Warden over White Soul Sisters to get devotion for Heliod? Because of Green Sun Zenith. Although maybe we should be doing a different split. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, Tempo Mavrick. Yeah, you're good, Dirt. You're good. Am I a Jedi or a Sith? Neither. I'm just like a normal guy in the Star Wars universe with no force powers. Excited for the season finale of The Mandalorian tomorrow. I guess I have to restart the client. There's just a ton of lag. I think the season finale is tomorrow. I may be wrong. I would view myself more as a farmer on Tatooine than a bounty hunter or a rogue of some kind. You'll wait for a second here. Yeah, moisture farmer. When I started this week, I didn't think I would be casting Essence Warden in Legacy, but here we are. Pizak Addict, hell yeah. I played a lot of Pizak when I played Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic, one of my favorite games. I would love a remaster. I'd also really like a third. I think I'd like a remaster more than anything, honestly. I've heard that, or they're remastering Mass Effect, right? Not Knights of the Old Republic. Yeesh. Yeah, I'm gonna protect this cradle, my cradle, if you will. Any advice on trying to distinguish between bad luck and skill? Hate to admit it. That's a good question. I get asked it from time to time. You know, I think the best way to try to figure out if you've lost a game due to bad luck or skill is to identify why you lost a game, you know? And try to be objective about that, which I know is not always easy to do, to be objective about why you lost a match. Yeah, I don't want to trade Warden for Delver, I think, since we have the Cradle. They could move Kotar Combat to Calculation 5th edition. Oh, that would be so sick. Yeah. They have a Fatal Push here. I'm also like pretty bummed, I think, if they counter my library though. So let me like ask them to cast a removal spell first. So at least they don't get max value out of that. Yeah, if they force my library, it's bad. But I think we're still supposed to cast it here. Yeah, they get to push plus force, of course. Pitching Borrower. Yeah, I know being objective about understanding why you lost the thing is hard, but just try to be reasonable and really understand why you lost. And I guess a good way to be objective is to try to, remove any vanity from your mind, if that's possible. All right, let's waste their island here. We can Windswept Heath for a Dryad Arbor, which also makes mana off Cradle, gains a life for the Warden. They've got one card, and so do we. Some classic top deck wars. I guess I'm going to upkeep Fetch for the Arbor to play around Stifle as best as possible. I mean, I think for some people, rewatching your games works. I don't really feel like that is something that I ever want to do. But I know some people like to do that, and so it's kind of just a personal preference. Maybe I was supposed to be attacking with 1/1s here. I'm not sure. Not sure what my opponent's hand is. I think we're just making this a 4/3. Assuming it resolves. And let's offer the trade. I think that it's probably better to watch other people than it is to watch yourself, I would guess. Unless you're really trying to figure out whether or not your like brew is bad. Well, can smack for 9. They drew a Thoughtseize, which isn't good. Hopefully you draw like Walking Ballista. So we only go up to 5 here. Stinks. Alright, so I'll bring in the 4th Skyclave, the Swords to Plowshares, the Veil of Summers, cut the Knight of Autumn. I don't think Destiny Spinner is very good against Delver. I'm going to cut that too. I'm going to try keeping in all the Soul Wardens. Cut a Heliod, maybe. Ballista's just kind of fine as a card. Maybe we trim. Trim 1. I don't know, it seems so hard to assemble the combo against Delver in general. Maybe we can just cut the Spike Feeder and like maybe backdoor Heliod Ballista. This seems kind of good to me. Let's keep this. I think we're going to get a Dryad Arbor on turn 1. We have a lot of mana with this hand, so I'm kind of fine if they Wasteland land us, especially because we're on the play. Dude, I haven't Greensun Zenith for a Dryad Arbor in so long. It feels really nice. I think with the Veil of Summer in my hand, I just want to Sylvan Library. We can also, I also kind of want to play Thalia with Karakas up. Without a Delver here, this exchange just isn't that good for them while I have the library. Alright, so I think I'll put this. Maybe a backup Thalia is good. Pay 4, put on top. And I'll play the Thalia maybe. No, let's play Mother of Runes first with Veil of Summer up, and if this doesn't resolve, or if this resolves, we'll just cast the Essence Warden rather. Sorry, but we are gonna assemble the combo of Essence Warden plus Sylvan Library, which is pretty cool. Splinter Twin combo. Looks like we're just playing around days. If they play a 2-mana threat, they let us untap with Mother, so that's kind of risky by them. Cavern's kind of interesting. I think I'm just shuffling both away though. And we have Mother of Runes to protect Thalia, so I'll hold up Veil of Summer. All these are humans. Barf. Well, we hold up Veil while the Thalia is on the stack. So if they force of will my Thalia, I can Veil of Summer. So I am holding it up. Wasteland's kind of interesting. One toughness human, less interesting. I'm gonna pay 8. Gotta get a little aggressive here, I think. If this gets forced, we lose. What do I think of the best? I do not play enough Legacy to like say what the best version of lands is right now. Essence Warden pretty good against Young Pyromancer, gotta say. It's gonna draw 3 cards a turn, I guess. I do get to Thoughtseize my Thalia and bolt my Essence Warden. Maybe bolt my Skyclave. Probably bolt the Warden, though. But then we can double Wasteland them. Probably better to get them off of red than black because of more bolts. Surely they're not... I guess they do Wasteland. They might Wasteland my Wasteland. Yeah. But they don't have a second copy. Okay, we do get to get another life off of this. Yeah, this is Eric's deck. It's pretty cool. I like it. Eric said I could make some changes, and I did make some. Yeah, it feels a bit weird, but... We can just Green Sun Zenith for another Warden. Play this. We're going to get a lot of life off the Pyro. So I want to keep the Pyro around. Waste them off red. Yeah, Eric was playing like I think too many Soul Sisters, was playing like the full 12, or maybe was playing 11. I ended up cutting down to 6, which is maybe not enough. Wrong name on stream. I thought I changed the title. You may need to refresh. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, it says it's green-white Heliod combo, which is what this is. Yeah, this has been a thing. Young Pyromancer makes Voice of Resurgence Elementals now. It's dumb, and it's silly that they haven't changed it, I think. Oh, pretty dead, I guess. Don't think we can block. Plow. Ooze. Block. Gain 2. Still die. No, hold on. Plow. Block. Or I guess block this. Then we take... So, plow. Block, take 4. Okay, yeah, we're dead. Oh, we also have to pay life. Yeah, never mind. To even have all these cards. Of that set. I loved it. It was great. Probably play Mom on turn 1. Of the 3. Probably the worst set of the 3, but what was nice about it is you got to draft the full block at once, which I really liked. And I don't think it was, like, exponentially worse. Oh yeah, you can open Shocklands. That's right. I think I opened like 2 or 3, because I opened a lot of Dragon's Maze packs, which was maybe not wise, but whatever. Playing Thalia first is kind of scary. I think we're supposed to, though. I'll attack with Mother of Runes. I don't know. I have so much nostalgia for the entire RTR block that I basically can't be convinced that any of it was in any way bad, but I'm sure it was. I just have very much rose-colored glasses when it comes to that set. Spinner seems kind of good. I think we need to play Hierarch, though. It'd be funny if my opponent's playing Twin and then we just have a Soul Sister. On MTGO you could do triples back. Yeah, I remember that being bad. Yeah, but I really liked Dragon's Maze Great Cash Return to Ravnica. I also really like triple RTR. Triple Gate Crash was a bit too aggressive, I think. What do I think was the worst set? I mean, I think the worst sets are like have happened a long time ago. You know, some of the earlier ones people criticize a lot. My least favorite set I've ever played has been Theros, the original Theros, and I really did not enjoy either the draft format, and it was also my first, you know, from RTR Innistrad Standard, which was great, was in it, but it was also dramatically different from. It was dramatically different from. Maybe I was supposed to Wasteland in turn. Because they're obviously holding things up. We'll just make him do it to get more information about our play this turn. You know, RTR Innistrad Standard was my favorite standard format, maybe my favorite Magic format ever, and I really disliked RTR Theros Standard. That was all Devotion decks. And so I really disliked what that set did to both Constructed and Limited. I just didn't like either. And I just like started playing EDH. And a lot of Limited too. But the Limited was bad, so I was playing different Limited formats when I could. Get him for 3. I think we're playing Soul's Attendant plus Destiny Spinner. It's better than playing Library, right? Yeah, Theros block constructed was good. I agree, actually. I agree with that. Because it didn't have the Return to Ravnica Devotion enablers. That's actually a really good point. Let me double check the list. I don't think we can. We don't have a main deck like Gaddock Teeg to stop sneak attack. Although I guess they can't sneak attack anyways. Always checking the list on Dono Deck Thursday. I'm gonna cast Sylvan Library with Karakas up, and they can't counter this because of Destiny Spinner. Weird that they petty theft the Mother of Runes without like to tap the Mother of Runes, but they didn't punish us in any way for tapping it. Avacyn Restore was the first. I didn't play Avacyn when it came out, but I actually really liked it. Like for playing with it in Constructed, you know, there are lots of really cool cards, and not just Standard, but EDH, Avacyn and Gristlebrand and the Miracles, and I liked Avacyn Restored. I thought it was cool. So my opponent is a Grixis control deck, I think. You know, maybe I was, you know. Sometimes I see Borrower and Sneak and Show lists, but the Badlands Borrower makes me just think this is Grixis control. I'm not sure how I want to sideboard besides bringing these boys in. Infinite Life is probably not somewhere we want to be, and I think it can also cut the Knight of Autumn. Seems fine. Maybe the Rest in Peace is fine. Nah. Just like one could be okay though. Yeah, I don't know. I really liked all of Innistrad block. I don't think there's really such a thing as the worst set. Because everything's just so subjective. You know, everybody has different tastes. Everybody enjoys different things about Magic. But I do think my least favorite set was Theros. Oh yeah, the Melissa DeTora banned Wolfrun deck. What a legendary run. I mean, Didgeridoo is getting some love for all the Homelands fans, Homeland stands. Grixis punishing fires. Weird. Legacy's all over the place. You won 3 pre-releases of theirs. No! Dude, of course. Oh my gosh. The fucking Soul Sisters deck, we're getting paired against Punishing Fire. I can't believe it. Like, what? How is this fair? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell in you guys' ears. Destiny Spinner plus Gaea's Cradle is kind of good. I guess not. Actually, it's the number of enchantments you control. Never mind. Less good. All right, let me. I guess I just attack first because they can trigger the Punishing Fire. Wait, they're gonna snap Punishing Fire? That's actually pretty good for us. I'll take it. Wait, they're gonna pay a red to put it into their hand and then block. Okay, that's also fine. Ambush Viper. Get a Knight of the Reliquary here, I think. Could also maybe get the Ooze. The Ooze just gets Punishing Fired, so I was supposed to, if I was gonna get Ooze, I was supposed to put one less mana into it. Yeah, but Knight can start. We can start wastelanding them off of red, maybe. Yeah, they're 4-color Punishing Fire control, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get to use this turn. Try to at least. Yeah, Destiny Spinner doesn't make Green Sun uncounterable, so I'll just cast the Green Suns. So they force, and then I guess we just play the Spinner while the Cradle still taps for mana before they Punishing Fire the Warden. Their last card is Punishing Fire. They're not casting it. I guess they want the Essence Warden to be in play to trigger their Punishing Fire. It's actually kind of funny. Why was Fire banned in Modern and when? I mean, it's too good with Grove of the Burned Willows, in my opinion. And if it's not too good, it at least like is very unfun, you know? Like it just pushes small creatures even more out of the format than they already are being pushed. You just scoop? Probably not. We can only play 2/2 Ballista. I think I'll just play a 2/2 Skyclave. Yeah, the whole interaction you're seeing here is Grove of the Burned Willows. Grove of the Burned Willows is a really good combo with Punishing Fire. And like maybe it wouldn't be too good, but it would also like be really unfun for anybody who likes to play small creature decks. TBH, I'm down to scoop. I'm gonna take some more draw steps. Like we can just Heliod combo them potentially. And here the Ballista is gonna be maybe too big to Punishing Fire. I guess or one's too many. They can double Punishing Fire it next turn. But then if they do that, we get to kill the illusion at least. They didn't. Oh, they actually could have responded to the Essence Warden trigger and then gotten their fire back. I guess they're making this attack because they see it's going to trade with the Ballista. They also draw Sylvan Library. Thank goodness. Forgot that we can also just draw Wasteland. They've got 3 cards. We're ahead on mana, of course. We also have, you know, a bunch of Sylvan Libraries we can maybe draw into, although Oh, man. This feels so bad. This feels so bad. We have Karakas for Leoval, but they still get to draw a card. This is a good game. 3. The Plague Engineers are also a big problem. Not really much we can do about it, though. Kind of in for at least the first copy of Rest in Peace. Probably need to play 2. I'm going to cut the Destiny Spinner. Yeah, punishing fire as it was intended as being Soul Sister's hate. It's kind of funny. Magic is cool. Gotta keep this on a multi 6, I believe. And a Cavern naming human and play Mother of Runes. Yeah, maybe we could trim on the Soul Sisters too. I mean, it is certainly part of the deck. Gonna play more. Wasteland 2, Sylvan Library. Yes, we have the really cool spell shift. I think it's spell shape. The spell shape combo deck in Modern after this. We did get to untap with Mother of Runes. Get it for 1. Yeah, so the idea is you spell shift targeting your own creature, your own adventure spell, and then that lets you cast Genesis Wave, or not Genesis Wave, Primal Surge, and then win the game with Thassa's Oracle. It's pretty cool. I'm excited, yeah. Playing around this Wasteland pretty well. This is maybe a good example of how matches with this deck are just gonna go, where you're playing Essence Warden against Oko and all the other legacy cards. The original version had, I believe, the full 12 Soul Sisters, and I ended up cutting a lot of them. But I think this is, maybe this is just how Mavrick usually plays. It has maybe different cards in this, but it usually is going to feel the same. And we did mulligan that game. Keep. Play around Stifle by fetching a forest on turn 1. Yeah, I think that is the idea behind this deck, is you gain a lot of life and then your libraries are better. I wonder if there are better ways to gain life. Oh, this is only 74 cards. We'll figure out what's going on with that. Yeah, that Uro card seems like pretty good life gain, huh? Omnath too. Libraries also are bad in multiples, which is another kind of awkward thing. But not like super relevant, honestly, because you can usually maybe shuffle ones you draw away. Underground Sea Taiga. It's kind of strange to see, I suppose. All right, we're gonna start the shenanigans here. Human. You know what? Soul's Attendant, I think, is actually the one I want to get countered the least. Does Ant play Taiga and Underground Sea? It could be. If so, maybe they'll play Empty the Warrens and we'll get to gain a little life. Cast 3 spells that turn. It's pretty good on turn 3. Yeah, the Cradle will be really good as well. We could also green Sun Zenith for Knight of the Reliquary to find our Cradle. Yeah, Storm count 3, baby. Storm count 3. Maybe we're lagging. I had a lot of lag today. There was an update yesterday, I guess. Seems like my opponent's mentally brainstorming, trying to figure out how to kill us. And hopefully they can't figure it out, I guess. See if we can figure out what we're missing from this. Oh, we've got 75. I'm not sure what was going on. Yeah, so the idea is you have 1 copy of Spell Shift in your deck, which has counter target instant or sorcery. Its controller reveals cards on the top of their library until they reveal an instant or sorcery card. That player may cast the card without paying its mana cost, then shuffle the library. So you only play 1 copy because you don't want to hit another copy of itself, and you have Wishclaw Talisman, which is a permanent, not an instant or sorcery, to tutor for it. And then you spell shift any of your adventure spells. They cast Defense Grid. That's pretty good for us. I think I'm just going to go top, Wasteland their C, and then get that Knight of the Reliquary. Don't care about blowing up this with... How is this their best play? How did they tank for so long and just play Defense Grid? No, you're good, BR. You're good. Don't worry about it. GG's. Well, attack with bomb is the same, right? It's 2 damage either way. Maybe I was supposed to go after Taiga? How are we dead now after Wastelanding? I guess they just... I don't know, whatever. They probably just wanted to play the Defense Grid for safety. And we're not dead to empty the Warrens. So they get the 6 mana sorcery where they draw half their library. Or they just have enough for tendrils. Okay, game 2. So we have 4 Deafening Silence and Enlightened Tutor to tutor it up. We have the Ouphe as well. Gaddock Teeg. Veil of Summer is only good against tendrils, and they can beat tendrils. Or they can beat Veil. I don't think I'm going to bring it in. Infinite Life should beat them, so I guess we can keep that in, but cut the ballistas. Trim on Sylvan Library, cut the Destiny Spinner, cut the Ooze. Trim on the Soul Sisters. I guess the Skyclaves are also dead cards. So at that point, you can bring these guys back in. This looks pretty good to me. I'll be mulliganing aggressively to a hand with Hate. This is a turn 2 Gaddock Teeg on the play. Is that good enough to keep? No, I don't think that's good enough against the... Yeah. I don't think it's good enough against the Epic Storm. Maybe against Ant I would keep it. Sounds way, way better. Before Deafening Silence in our deck, I think it's pretty good to mulligan, especially on the play for 1. Why is it called the Epic Storm? Because that's what Brian Cook called it, I think. Brian Cook made the deck. It's a good point. I mean, Ant usually boards out a lot of discard spells against decks like this. Yeah, I guess we'll play Thalia here. Seems fine. We can still Deafening Silence plus Wasteland next turn if we want. Or we can green Sun Zenith for like a Noble Hierarch, maybe. Everything seems kind of fine. This is going to make it harder for them to decay. And they can't decay right now, so I think we target this. We could also have Nature's Claim. Just fine. We just have a second Deafening Silence. Your Nature's Claim is their whole turn. Could be a Fatal Push too, I guess. Pretty close to turning on Devotion for Heliod. I think my opponent's trying to Abrupt Decay, and they realize there's a Thalia in play, and they do the math, and they realize 3 is greater than 2. Weird to be on this side of the table. Usually over there. I would prefer it to be on the other side of the table right now. Okay, very interesting. Wishclaw Talisman. They're just gonna Hierarch here. Someone's knocking at the door. That someone was Esther. Pretty interested to see what happens to us here. Didn't want a Heliod? I don't think so. I want to be able to like I want to be able to get like a Collector Ouphe next turn. It's like really 3 mana do nothing. So yeah, I want it to be able to Ouphe next turn. No, I had to swap the lock recently because the other one broke. And she's been having a hard time opening it. But it does work. Probably should mess with it. Just put everything into play. If my opponent can kill me through all of this, I'll be very impressed. I think I want to put my opponent to 1 to turn off a fetch land more than I care about casting both Warden and Heliod. Wishclaw for explosives on 1. Yeah. Oh, the Heliod was a creature. Yeah, I didn't realize we had enough devotion. We don't want to copy there because then they can bounce the second silence. It'd be pretty cool if they won this game. I wouldn't even be mad. You know, they can tutor up an answer to the silence, but it's going to cost at minimum 2 mana. And then they have to answer the silence first. But maybe if they have a Massacre in their deck, they can get like an answer to silence and then cast Massacre. No, they can't because of Teeg. Alright. I still don't want to sack a land. Well, if they had Force of Vigor, it's their turn. And we also have Gaddock Teeg, so they can't cast it. Alright, Explosives is 3 mana. Because it's not like it blows it up for just 1. I mean, they also can't cast it because of Teeg, but it's not relevant that it only costs 1 mana to cast. I guess Veil protects our permanents from their disruption, which is not something I should have realized that, I think. I'm just gonna be off the Heliod combo, I think. Seems like it's never gonna happen. These can at least answer like Wishclaw Talismans that get cast and passed. How's it going, Doom? I feel like turn 2 Teeg against Tess is way too slow. Opponent also mulligan to 6. They kept 6. A turn 2 Deafening Silence on the draw. It's pretty bad. Let's go to 4. Easy Molda 2. I got something from Taco Bell that Esther brought for me. I have no idea what it is, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I just think any... we can't keep a hand on the draw without a Deafening Silence. You know? You just can't do it. They don't play Force. And with the London Mulligan, we're pretty likely to hit land plus Deafening Silence at some point. And we made it to turn 3, which feels like way more likely to win than any of those other hands we saw. If we could just draw like another lock piece, that'd be great. Just find a Thalia. Gaddock Teeg. Second Deafening Silence, maybe. Oof. Oof, what a draw. We're going to win on a Molda 2. I've won on a Molda 1 before the London Mulligan in Modern. That one card was Leyline of the Void. I don't know if I've ever won on a Molda 2 before. Okay, they have a Decay. We do have another lock piece in play. Ouphe is pretty good against them, but it's not like definitely going to be a lock. They have 4 lands, which is a lot. You guys can check my math, maybe. Our 2-card hand was Flooded Strand, Deafening Silence. And I just kind of realized we had like our opening hand had turn 2 Gaddock Teeg, but against the Epic Storm, I think that's just too slow on the draw. I would probably keep on the play. Maybe if it had a second lock piece. I can't remember if it did. They are under a 3-turn clock. Maybe 2-turn if we just find any creature this turn. They can't correct both of these fetches if they want to take a hit of 6. Probably won't be very relevant. It looks like their hand is just bad. Very reactive hand. That was maybe a factor towards keeping one of the slower hands, is that they're likely to just have a very reactive deck in general, and so it's possible that they are not that likely to be able to kill us on turn 1 and 2 anymore because of their sideboard plan. Although I don't hate on the play, a game that they're on the play, just not having almost any answers to permanence. You probably have like still a few like Chain of Vapors. We just try to turn 1, which I think is totally reasonable against our deck as Tess. Would gaining 4 life ever be relevant? If ever, yes. Almost ever, no. Like it would happen some amount of the time, but it would almost never be a big deal. Not as big a deal as killing our opponent quicker. They get a Grape Shot. Huh. Grape Shot to just keep playing, huh? Although they get to have a billion mana. They get to kill all of my creatures. Exactly. I mean, we're both top decking, and like I have top decks that kill them, but like they need to draw Burning Wish They need to draw a tutor and I need to draw a creature and then hit with it. Collector Ouphe was a pretty good draw. We could also, we could also just have like any fetch land kills, any green fetch land. Essence Warden! Essence Warden off the top. What a sick rip. We had better draws like Green Sun Zenith for Gaddock Teeg. But Essence Warden is good enough and we're on the scoreboard. Keep. I think. We lead on Essence Warden. Did win its last game after all. Why is it rainbow? It just plays all the. It plays I think 4 or 5 colors, mostly for sideboard cards. Plays a lot of 5-color lands. It's kind of an interesting deck. Do not kill. You will live. Essence Warden, you're going to live. Too soon to say goodbye.
It's hot. Is the heater on?
I don't think so. I thought I turned it off.
Well, the heater was off. It was just not on cool.
Zenith would be too good at Modern, yeah. In the Titan deck.
Did you have a full queue of donation decks?
Yeah, I got 7 more matches to play.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
It's gonna be a late stream.
Gonna be a late stream. Okay. Okay, Dean, I guess you're not gonna go to the dog park.
Don't say that. Although you're probably right. I mean, you can take her.
I have to clean.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then
I'd rather clean.
Okay.
I know you'd rather me clean too.
Mm-hmm. Kind of played. I also played the Knight of the Reliquary.
Stay there, Athena, 'cause I'm just gonna clean.
We named Knight.
Never like it.
Hopefully they don't bolt my Knight of the Reliquary. Okay, cool. These Essence Wardens seem pretty unbeatable, TBH. That end of turn brainstorm is also kind of weird. Obviously, there are some hands that it would make sense in. It's not usually the timing you'd see on brainstorm. They're not shuffling with their ponder. They're bolting my Knight. We have a second Knight. Wasteland my Cavern on Knight. Play Spike Feeder instead? No, I think we just want the 4/3. Yeah. See if they daze this. Is Essence Warden broken in Legacy? Question mark, question mark. Would I do a special stream where my GF plays instead of you and watch in silence? No, and the reality is, I feel like gimmicky streams like that are such a trap on Twitch. Because like it's just like there's no... The gimmick just wears off so fast and they're not fun to watch more than a few minutes. So I try to stay away from them. Hey Ghost. Another Wasteland. It's kind of fine. Yeah, it's only for like the super enfranchised viewers who like me as a person, you know. Just not good for the stream in general. Okay, well, can our opponent beat Infinite Life? Although, will they scoop to Infinite Life? Is the real question. Noted MTGO. Yeah, Esther is a noted MTGO player. I'm just a regular one. Whenever Esther comes in and wants to talk to me, I usually tell her I can show her how to make a Twitch channel, but she hasn't made one yet. Esther doesn't really know how to play. She knows some things, but she's never actually played a game. And isn't that interested in learning. Honestly, I'm not that interested in playing with her. Play so much Magic, I kind of like to have a break, you know? Guess the best draw is Cavern of Souls. But we're definitely just jamming. I mean, they have to have a Force of Will and a blue card, basically, as their last two cards to stop us here.
What's up? It's me, your friend.
Average Joe, 2 months in a row. Hope you're having a good one today. Appreciate you. So or they could have 2 lightning bolts, I guess, but the reality is we gain infinite life, but my opponent's not going to concede. And so we just get to play this fun sub game, you know? We get to gain life pretty quickly, though. How much life should we gain? I don't know. $420 is a good number. I mean, I don't know, maybe like 200. I don't know. What's nice is we have 3 Spike Feeder counters, so we should be able to start the loop again if my opponent breaks it up. I'm gonna gain like 150. Yeah, I'll just pass for right now. If I wasn't streaming, I'd probably gain more, but you know, for the viewing experience, we'll just pass for now. How did I know my opponent won't concede? There's just, I don't know. My opponent's a Magic player, and Magic players don't value their own time, mostly. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that. My opponent knows that if they don't concede, they have a good chance of winning. Yeah, I know we need to sit here until we gain about 1,000 life. But my fingers are already hurting. I'll do it. Yeah, I know. If you could hold M, it would be so much better. Also, if the Spike Feeder abilities were switched, so that way you didn't have to, like, put it down a bit, that would also, I think, save some time. Yeah, maybe I should have vetoed the Dono deck based on this. Yeah, if they were closer together, you could just click, 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 click. Yeah, I'll be putting the rest of the counters on the Warden, which is pretty relevant because it'll be a 4/4 at that point. Yeah, I mean, there's like almost no chance they play a Jace, honestly. I'd be really surprised if they had a Jace. Yeah, I wonder. I'm sure someone's wrote a program. Yeah, probably not worth installing for 1 league of a Dono deck, right? Do I really need to go to 1,000? I feel like I do, especially if they play a young Pyromancer. I think like 1,000 life is unbeatable for them, and it's gonna take, you know, like 5 minutes to do. I'm just gonna have Carpal Tunnel. Yeah, Sprite Dragon 2 can kill through a ton of life. And yeah, we're at 270 life. We're ahead on time, although now at the time of making this comment, that's not true. Anybody got any questions for me to answer? Anything you want to talk about while we gain a few hundred more life? I wonder how hard it would be to have like the loop option on MTGO. This is game 1, baby. It's got an H. Call in Esther and have her assist. I see. No, she's doing stuff. I don't have a favorite color. Fondest Magic Memory is the 25th anniversary PT, just kind of the whole experience. Getting to play the PT with some of my best friends. Getting to play my favorite Legacy deck. Getting to play against some great players. Just awesome. I tried a Jeskai Lotus deck in Historic. That's awesome. Yeah, it seems pretty good. I know Holy Diva's been playing too. Do I think my look influences my streaming success? Yeah, I've got people like drooling and simping over me all day, every day. You should see my DMs. It's crazy. Favorite Magic color is blue. Don't worry about it, Ghost. I don't think it's gonna. We're not gonna be playing more of this. Said the banned word. I mean, I didn't break TOS because I didn't use it insulting anybody. Now, you can say it as far as I understand. You just can't use it as an insult. Favorite mod is all of them. Love all of my viewers equally. Yeah, I think you can insult yourself with it. I don't know why that would be wrong. Favorite modern deck of all time? Probably Jeskai Nahiri. Did I see the modern Jeskai Lotus in the league dump? No, I don't usually look at the league dumps. Was it very similar to my list? I don't know. Maybe 500 is fine. I just don't really see a lot of EV. I feel like going higher makes sense though. What do you guys think? 500? Yeah, I've seen like the sentiment that people want more. They want to heal. They want more insults. They want trash talk. They want a heal. You know, toxicity. And I've never understood that attitude. That's never been something I've ever craved in a game. And I actually like, you know, the air of sportsmanship in MTG. And like maybe it's because I don't have a background in like League of Legends or something. But yeah, I just don't get the whole. We need to be able to shit talk. We need to be able to, you know, I don't know. I don't really get it. I mean, that's what people always say, right? That the League is like that. I don't know. Yeah, the new cube is dumb. I'm glad it's only on for a week, but it's kind of fun. How will my streaming schedule change when my paper comes back? I mean, probably not at all. Like maybe I just don't stream on a weekend if I travel to a tournament, but the reality is traveling to tournaments is really low EV, usually. You know, it's like a $500 trip almost always, and I just don't really see it in the cards for me to be traveling to GPs every weekend. When I play against my friends in Paper Magic, I mess around and talk trash. Yeah, I agree. People do that, and it just feels it's so different, right? Like to trash talk with someone you have banter with someone you have a rapport with, than it is to like want the community to be more toxic. I really just don't understand the attitude at all, and I'm not saying that you're wrong for having that opinion, but I'm saying I just don't get it. Why are they dazing this? Like, you know, like also, you know, whenever I would play a tournament, and I had my opponent dead, if I knew them and I had like a rapport built up, I would show them that they were dead, by revealing my hand. But if I didn't know my opponent, I would not do that because I don't know how people are going to take things. I think it's good to, like, you know, make an effort to be a good sport. But I do just see a lot of sentiment like, man, I wish we could be toxic. I wish we could trash talk, and I just don't get it. And it's fine. I don't really care that much, but yeah, like there's a difference. I mean, yeah, friendly trash talk can be a thing, but usually only if you're already friends with the person. But also, like, that's not what people are saying, you know? No, I don't use F8. I don't know. I don't think it really matters here. We're just playing normal Magic again. The old 8/8 Essence Warden. Essence Warden's been a house this league. Yeah, it's probably just good to get like all the creatures we can out of lightning bolt range. Yeah, sure, that's fine, Karate Dumb. I'm not talking about, you know, you specifically claiming that you want a ton of trash talk in Magic. It's not just any one person here who has today asked for that. It just like seems like a growing community sentiment, in my opinion. And that's I guess what I'm trying to talk about. Not any one comment that's been made. I'm gonna put the counter on the Hierarch so they can't block with everything, but not that they will anyways, of course. Yeah, we're only down like 4 minutes. Or 3 minutes even. They chain lightning me, resolves. Alright, they are then on board. My opponent hasn't conceded because I think they just don't. I mean, they're playing to the clock. They're free to do so. They paid for their 25 minutes, right? They put their $10 into the machine, and they said, I have 25 minutes. I can do whatever I want with it, and that's totally fine. It's totally fine. They're not in the wrong to do this. They have a different philosophy on how to play this game than I do, and that's okay. Just because I don't get something or just because I disagree doesn't mean I'm right, and I would never be so arrogant to assume that I am. I think Destiny Spinner, honestly, I think kind of sucks. I feel like we probably should just be boarding it out every time. It's kind of where I'm at with the card. And just because just because I don't understand wanting a game to be more toxic doesn't mean doesn't mean you guys are wrong for wanting more trash talk. I'm just saying I don't get it. That's fine. No, honestly, these seem pretty good. What are we cutting? Yeah, I agree that you could trash talk in a non-toxic way, but, I'm mostly just saying people who are explicitly saying they want the community to be more toxic. Like, those are actually words that people say. Maybe some trimming library on the draw is fine. I'm not sure. Trying this, cutting the ballistas. I feel like we're just never going to get to ballista combo. Let's keep this. I think with the Skyclave, I'm going to just put back the Swords to Plowshares. I'll put back the Veil of Summer, actually. Yeah. Yeah, Spinner makes Heliod uncounterable, but I still just don't think it's very good. I would like to be wrong about that and have it be good, but I don't think I am. I think it's bad. Yeah, so yeah, Spinner makes Heliod uncounterable, which is why you play it. Is Ballista good enough against Young Pyromancer? Maybe that's actually a good reason. It's possible we could just cut the Heliods. Although Heliod just with the Soul Sisters actually seems decent. If only if Skyclave Apparition were a human, it would be too good. Maybe I was supposed to play like a forest on turn 1. Not sure. Let's play around days. Doesn't feel very good, but I think I like playing around days here. Especially because we have the Veil of Summer to protect the Skyclave next turn. This is really bad if they kill both of my creatures, but if they just kill the Knight, we get to Skyclave with Veil up. They do kill the Knight. Maybe if I had another fetch land in my hand, we would have played differently. Another burn spell would almost just end the game on the spot. But they don't seem to have one. Or if they have one, they don't seem to be willing to use it here. So let's cast a Skyclave with Veil up. We can also Green Sun Zenith for 1 if we want to. I want to get an Ooze though. Okay, now we got to use the Veil. See if their last card is Daze. It is not. Awesome. They go after Cavern instead of Gaea's Cradle. I also feel like their attack was kind of free. But let's play Mother of Runes and then Green Suns for Ooze. And then hold up either Swords to Plowshares or Ooze activation. Oh, I didn't even look what they pitched. Good brainstorm. Yeah, it's probably just on me for bringing this subject up, TBH. How did I promote my stream at the very beginning? I didn't, and I still don't, honestly. I mean, I just post things to Twitter from time to time. I got kind of a bit of a buff to my early stream because Gabriel Nassif recognized my username from some matches we had played in the past and raided me. But, I don't know, like, all I did was stream. And people started coming because the stream is pretty good. People started coming, and they haven't stopped coming. I don't think my opponent has a spell. I'm just going to slam here. Do you think that getting bruised into the 5-0 dumps helped? I mean, maybe. People definitely recognize my username because I play a lot of Magic online. But I think it's just more so I just have built good brews for like the last year and a half, you know? But there's not really, I think, a formula to become successful in any content creation game. Like there are elements that help. You know, consistency is really important, but I really just kind of think that if you have things to say, if you have good ideas, and you grind really hard and you work really hard at it, eventually people will start watching you, you know? I'm going to play Modern Jeskai tomorrow, but today we're just playing Dono decks. I have a full queue. You also played a format on stream that is popular in Modern. I guess. Sure. A lot of people play Modern, though. Maybe not enough people, though. Interesting. Playing against Death and Taxes.
Do you want chocolate chip, M&M, peanut butter, snickerdoodle, or oatmeal raisin?
None of the above.
Okay, but I put them in a cookie tin so they won't go.
Okay, thank you, though.
Yeah.
I pretty heavily disagree that... I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm certainly biased, but... And I'm not saying that luck is not a factor at all when it comes to being successful on Twitch. But to say that it's 99%, 97% luck just feels pretty disingenuous to me. Especially because, like, when you compare it to a platform like YouTube, where the algorithm can pick a video up and like really blow it up, and then you can get successful. When you compare Twitch to YouTube, where you're live 40 hours a week and you don't like have an algorithm that's like really promoting your stream necessarily, or nearly as much as it is with YouTube, I think you just have to be consistently good and like, work hard at the stream more so than get lucky. I'm not saying luck has nothing to do with it, but it feels way less important on Twitch than a platform like YouTube. Sounds like you're saying luck has nothing to do with it. Well, I feel like I very explicitly said the opposite of that. I think I'll just play Thalia to tap their Karakas instead of Ballista on one, although it's kind of close here. It's like... But it's not nothing. It's not nothing. I got lucky that Nassif recognized me and raided me in the beginning, but... Oh, it was a joke, I see, sorry. You have to be lucky enough that you can actually stream on Twitch. I mean, that's true, but like I also like for like 8, 9, no, I guess it was like 10 months, I was doing like 10, 12-hour days where I'd get up at 7 and then I'd get home at, like 9 with like a little break in the middle, because I was streaming so much and also working. That it was very hard, but I really enjoyed it, which is obviously a big part of it. But it's not like I just sat in front of a computer and was immediately popular or immediately able to do this full time. I was an IT guy previously. But yeah, I had a lot of long days, but in that time period, I've missed so few days even. Like besides weekends, like I just don't take weekdays off almost ever, and Nassif's been streaming a lot of Modern lately, but I also don't know exactly how that's super relevant. Maybe we're just changing the subject. I mean, people can make fun of me. I don't really care. I already answered you, 1M, but I was an IT guy.
Look how cute.
Oh, that's cute. Just make that?
No, we took this home.
Okay, we're super dead. Oh, right. Okay, against Death and Taxes, let's bring in the Skyclave, the Ouphe, the Knight, the Plows. Kind of a classic matchup, Taxes versus Mavrick. Seems like it should be in our favor. And cut the Thalias. Maybe cut the third library. Library is probably great. Maybe we don't need the Knight of Autumn. Ouphe is also shuts off our own combo, but it's pretty good against Taxes, I think. I'm gonna cut the third Heliod. Yeah, if we have infinite life, we get to pay as much as we want to Sylvan Library. I'm really glad we beat the blue-red Delver guy who made me sit through the combo. What's the origin of the Mavrick name? I actually don't know. I feel like I usually have an idea for these kind of things, but not for that one. Are you dusting?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to figure out a way to put those stockings with the shark and the Athena one here.
In here?
Mm-hmm. That'd be cute.
Yeah, I actually think you're right.
I know I'm right. You have a IQ of 0 for decorating. Okay, maybe.
No, not 0.
Maybe 50.
Look at the play mats. That's like.
That was my idea.
Well, I put them up. I'm just saying it's not 0.
I put them up. You didn't put them up. I did.
You did?
Yes, I put up like half of them, and then you put up like some.
That's
of them.
not how I remember it.
Oh my god. See, this is the gaslighting.
It's not how I remember it.
I remember putting them up. And then you finished the top row because I'm too short.
Oh, that's you, right?
Yeah.
I didn't choose the basic lands for this one. It's a dono deck, and I had a lot of dono decks, so I didn't go through the basic lands for all of them this morning.
Gotta keep the PC fresh.
Good old Karakas mirror. Huh. Wow, Aspirin is so good here. We're not going to get to trade here, but boy, is it good.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, maybe we'll play more Legacy. I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's certainly just not a format with as much wiggle room as Modern is for brews, which is the focal point of my stream, is trying to brew and like innovate and tune. And it's way harder to do that in Legacy than in Modern. So it's hard to commit to it, you know? Mavrick is named from Luis. I'm not going to try the last name. His nickname was Maverick. That's cool. That's very cool. Should probably go after an Essence Warden, right? They may not respect it, but they do go after it. Yeah, modern is pretty good right now too. Exactly. It's just like the reality is it's just way harder to brew in Legacy. Maybe we're supposed to save this for an Essence Warden trigger. I don't know. I don't think that saying Uro and Astrolabe being in the format make it harder to brew. Legacy has always been a really hard format to brew in because, you know, there are a lot of really powerful established archetypes, and it's hard for new cards to, you know, oh no, they have Spirit from my library. It's hard for new cards to like make brand new archetypes, and more so often you see, you know, new cards enter existing archetypes, which is a lot less interesting to me, but not completely uninteresting. Probably supposed to tap Cradle for this, but Heliod is really nice, and also if we can just draw a Ballista, we just win the game. Kind of the mirror breaker. And then also any creature that enters the battlefield is going to let us put a counter with Heliod, as long as this lives.
Oh yeah, I'm so smart.
I know you're baiting me into asking you.
No, just look.
Okay. Oh, I don't think that's gonna hold.
No, I put the metal, well, the glass thing inside it.
Oh, okay. That's good. I don't. Yeah, it doesn't look like the word Athena is legible.
It's still cute.
Yeah, it's still cute. Athena. Wavelink pets Athena. It is legible? Okay. I guess I'm not legible, maybe from my view.
Do you want me to move it like here instead, or is it good in the middle?
It may look better there. Like you can, well, people will be able to see it more, but it's maybe less aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
Which is probably fine. They name one with their Sanctum Prelate.
No, I'd rather them see it.
It's actually probably better for us than them because they have more swords than we do. We could double block this. give double lifelink? I think I'm just gonna not. Kind of close though. We Wasteland them, they can't play and equip a sword, so that's probably good enough for me. Oh no, they have the Ancient Tomb. We should have gone after that one. Ancient Tomb and taxes always look so weird to me. Always look so weird to me. You don't think it's stock? I see it every once in a while. Yeah, maybe they have Chalice in the sideboard. Sometimes you see that. Sometimes in the main. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the counter on the Knight, and we can get in with the Knight of Autumn. Give lifelink. Do you like being able to kill Spirit? Turns on Sylvan Library as a draw. Seeing Spirit, though, we may trim some if we end up going to game 3. I always liked Ancient Tomb and lands in the sideboard to be able to play a lock piece against Storm on turn 1. By just you just play one copy, then you crop rotation for it, then you can play a turn 1 Thorn or Chalice or whatever. Cool. Gonna get to gain a pretty big chunk of life with this draw. Is Heliod the combo breaker and the Mavrick versus, or the mirror breaker between taxes and Mavrick? Probably should start growing the Dryad Arbor. Yeah, we can still, if we any creature can still make this an 8/8, but I'm just gonna put a counter here. They also can't cast swords, which is pretty good. And their Tomb is getting pretty dangerous to tap. Flicker Wisp could be bad, but it would put like 4 counters from the Heliod. Skyclave Apparition would be bad to actually get rid of Heliod. But maybe the damage will already be done. They have a Cataclysm? Gonna take it. They lose if they have Cataclysm. I mean, I think no blocks is pretty fine there. I know it is maybe a bit bold, but it seems fine. They also have to chump block with Flicker Wisp if they do have Flicker Wisp here. Which is also a-okay. Oh, I guess they don't have to chump block. Sorry. They target the Knight of Autumn, which can gain a good chunk of life here. Yeah, we get to gain 6 life on the Dryad Arbor lifelink. Yeah, this is just fine. They take this, they go to 2. And then I think are we putting all the counters on the Knight of Autumn? We have 3 counters to distribute. Making this Hierarch actually a 4/5 seems pretty relevant. It gets 1 good block here. Seems fine. Cool. Now we're just at 19. Gain 16 life that turn. Now I think the 4/5 is better. Although making everything 2 power is kind of cute too. Although I also don't think it's going to be hard to get every creature to 2 power before next turn necessarily. Opponent's still battling. We'll probably just... I'm calling that we're going to draw Walking Ballista this next turn and combo kill them when it doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, did not get to call the shot. Yeah, let's just attack with our big creatures. I don't think we want to suicide attack and possibly lose to another Flicker Wisp. I think it's pretty unlikely we lose even if they Wisp, but especially because Mother of Runes is gonna win the game next turn, it seems pretty fine. Probably supposed to grow the Knight of Autumn instead of the Essence Warden. But they are gonna start jump blocking this turn, and we're gonna gain like 12 more life. This game's over. We're in garbage time. I declare this game to be over. Maybe they'll tap their Ancient Tomb and go out in style. Oh, they unlock their Swords of Plowshares, which triggers Heliod. Does a wisp save them? Nope. Swords of Plowshares on Mom didn't save them either, but they should be conceding now. Please concede, opponent. Well, I guess it was kind of silly to trim a Heliod. Heliod does seem kind of great. Yeah, let's cut a Sylvan Library because we saw they have multiple Spirit of the Labyrinths. Probably still want some number. We're playing through 3 and 2, and I feel like 3-2 with Heliod combo and Legacy, not too bad. Not that we've actually gotten to Ballista combo even once. It really is tough that the Green Sun Zenith doesn't find either Ballista or Heliod. Is this hand to keep on the draw against Death and Taxes? I think it is. I'd love for them to Wasteland me, so I'll play Swords. Cool. I'm okay, sweetheart. I know that you made this for me, but I'm really not hungry.
What do I do with it?
I'll put it in the fridge. I'll eat it after the stream. How good is Destiny? I feel like Destiny Spinner has kind of sucked, but it's nice because it makes your Heliod uncounterable. But I have not been impressed with it at all. I really want them to Wasteland me. This is probably too obvious of a bait, though. Cool. I guess not. Double Mom is so tough, though. This one's already untapped. I guess we actually have Walking Ballista in our deck to beat it. And a Cradle to maybe power it out. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, this can't give protection from Colorless. My opponent doesn't have another land? Man, I can't believe they're Wastelanding me so aggressively, too. What's the reason for me wanting them to Wasteland us? Because we have way too many lands. Far too many lands. And Wasteland is a 1-for-1, you know? And so all of a sudden, like, the extra lands that we have just turn into relevant, like, just a relevant 1-for-1. When you're flooded, you want your opponent to Wasteland you. They got a Jitte, which we can exile, but... Oh, we also have Ouphe in play. Why not Wasteland them back? They have all basics in play, and you cannot Wasteland a basic land. Not a strip mine. But if they do play, and that's also why I'm holding the Wasteland, so if they will maybe play around, they'll play a non-basic. They won't play a non-basic if they see the Wasteland in play. I don't think we need to Skyclave anything either. The Ouphe is just shutting down the Vial. Yeah, I agree that it's weird they didn't get Battle Skull, but usually when you like, oh, it's weird they didn't get Battle Skull, that means they just have the Battle Skull in their hand, right? I'd say usually that's what happens. Yeah, Walking Ballista is still our best draw by a lot. Almost a game-winning draw, right? They're planning to plow Earth. Maybe. But if they do that, I still think we're supposed to save this for Jitte rather than get the Vial. But that could be why. Your hand is Jitte and 2 unknown cards. Oh, Ouphe shuts down Ballista, you're right. Right. I will Wasteland Port, yeah. We have just so much more mana than our opponent does. I'd Wasteland anything. Yeah, they had Spirit in for game 2. They already had a Spirit in play. Alright, now's the turn to top deck Walking Ballista. Holding Cradle seems better for the Ballista turn. Yeah. Probably. Okay. With the second Skyclave, I'm gonna get their Vial. And I will Wasteland their port. And so they do have a Jitte, which is going to be really, really good when it hits us. But we at least have an answer to it. But it's going to get to kill both of our Wardens, probably. Not sure if this is right. If we had a legendary creature, we could maybe block and then bounce the Karakas. Although it's just the triple Mother of Runes is so good, right? Yeah. We get to answer the Jitte, which is nice, off of Knight of Autumn if we want, or the Skyclave. No real point to try to blow up the Spirit or any creature with triple Mother of Runes. Also, don't think we can really block here. Bye-bye, Essence Wardens. Ballista is still the best draw by a lot. Only 2 in the deck, I guess. We've already lost our Collector Ouphe. Probably want to get a Scavenging Ooze with this. I think I'd rather use Knight of Autumn. Although it's probably like basically the same. Yeah, I think we just get an Ooze. Yeah, Legacy's a pretty... There's definitely a learning curve to this format. And... I'll just exile their... I mean, this doesn't matter at all. But I'll just exile their spells because we want to save the creatures in the graveyard for Heliod. I think it's a bit better to gain life after Heliod's in play. Oh, that's true. Night King answered Battle Skull. That's a good enough reason.
If I watch TV, right?
Yeah, it should be fine.
You know you want to stay in here? Come out here. Come on. Come on. Are you staying in here?
Okay. Heliod doesn't operate with the yard, but Heliod operates with you gaining life. So we want to save the ability to gain life when we draw Heliod and put counters on things. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize this was a human. Oops. Chat's getting a bit stun locked. Yeah, so we could have Skyclaved the Vial this turn, which I think I will do. We can actually force... We could have blocked and gained 2 with Ooze that turn. Maybe we'll do that next turn. Ballista, come on. Damn it. So glad my opponent double wastelanded me. They've just been stuck on mana all game. Most green creature decks do play Cradle, but green creature decks in Legacy is not honestly a very big category. What are my thoughts on saving Green Suns for Spike Feeder? I feel like getting the Ooze is better. But maybe that would be better. They're targeting my Soul Sister, not the Ooze. If you find a Heliod combo, you win. I mean, yes. But, I mean, Ooze is like pretty good creature to get into play. You know, maybe you're right. Maybe it would be better to get this, save it for Spec Feeder. It's also you get to thin the deck a bit. I guess you don't get to thin the deck because the Zenith goes back in. It's the same. But I really just want to draw a Walking Ballista and kill their entire board and win the game on the spot. That's the main thing I want to do. Kind of wish I had a second Dryad Arbor right now. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we drew the Heliod. We didn't have a Heliod in hand, you know. Huh. Guess we're going to flicker a Skyclave? Get rid of the Mother of Runes or the Ooze? What would a second Dryad Arbor do? I guess it would have triggered a Soul Sister. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. It's not very relevant here. Finally, hell yes. Finally, golly. Glad they weren't like porting my Cradle either. Casual 6/6 Ballista. Die. Die. Good as Giver of Runes, huh? Now my Ooze is going to be huge next turn. I'm also, I think, just attacking with all my 2/2s. We're also up 11 minutes again. How many times has it happened today that we're up plus 10 minutes on the clock compared to our opponent? Too often, really. Okay, so they get Palace Jailer here. They get Flicker Wisp, I guess, to target the Recruiter. The Use is big, but they've got blockers. They're gonna regret this. Although I'm regretting it. I'm getting so dizzy. The Greybeard's popping out. $13 Ooze. So now they almost just have to Flicker Wisp my Ooze, reset it. They could Wasteland my Cradle. Cool. Deal. And then they can Flicker Wisp. I guess they can... There's nothing they can get off Recruiter to deal with the Ooze right now. So they'll just like reset it. But now they're not like... We broke up the Recruiter chain, so it feels worth it to me. Green Sun Zenith can get Spike Feeder, I guess. We already used our Knight of Autumn, or the Reliquary, right? Did we already use the Knight of the Reliquary? We did not. Okay, the Night of Autumn got played. 1, 2, 3, 4. A really long game. No, I cited out the Destiny Spinner, and I haven't really liked it so far. I probably think it should not be in the deck. Can eat 2 creatures. I think we're just alpha striking. They're eating the 2/2s, so that means they're like taking most of the damage off the ooze. And then maybe grows the ooze too. Yeah, because the ooze can become a 4/4 here, so they need to probably double block. Yeah, I mean, maybe they just don't see it, but I think they've not played around this ooze well at all. By taking like that huge hit last turn and not killing the ooze this turn when they could have. I think the idea is Destiny Spinner is maybe better than Allosaurus Shepherd in this list because it makes Heliod uncounterable, but I don't know. That was the league. I'm not sure if this deck how much better this deck is than normal Mavrick. Like, we didn't Heliod Ballista anybody once, and it honestly never felt like we were even close to. The Sylvan Library thing did feel kind of good sometimes, but it's like a lot of moving pieces and slow and disruptible. But I think this is like a fine way to do it.